What is going on, everybody? I am Shining Moon, and this is Eve Echoes. In today's video, I am going to dive down into the currency that is within this game. The currency that I'm talking about, or the three I should say, is going to be ISK or ISK, Plex, and AUR. Now, these are the three main ways to acquire different things within the game. Primarily, the one that you're going to focus on obtaining is going to be ISK, but I want to go ahead and cover the other two types as well. So let's start with those. Let's start with Plex. And in order for you to obtain Plex, you have to go into the in-game store. Now, I'm not talking about the in-game market where you exchange goods and things with other players. No, I'm talking about in-game content that the developers have provided to you for you to purchase with real money. So let's go ahead and access that store first. What you want to do is click on your character up there in the top left and come over here where you see the star or where it says store. All right, this is where you want to go if you want to look at Plex and AUR currency. All right. Real quick, I'm going to briefly cover this here, a Get Pack, which is the first screen that will pop up when you go to the in-game store. Now, in order to utilize the market, you have to be Omega. All right, or either a subscriber or there's other ways that you can spend ISK, I believe, so you can become Omega without having to spend money. I'm not entirely sure about that part. But what I do know is in order to use the market, you have to have Omega. And then right now, I have the Omega Duo Bundle gift. And what that gave me was some Plex that I can use, as well as made me Omega, which is pretty cool. The second thing that you can spend money on, like actual money, is the Cognitive Neuroscience chips, or this bundle right here. And what that will do, and I'll show you how to acquire that because you do need AUR, but that will increase your skill training by 15%, which is fantastic, meaning that it's just going to help you train skills faster. What I really, really, really love about that is if you go over to Pilot Service, you can see here that you can actually buy those cognitive chips separately outside of that bundle. However, and I want to make sure that y'all are aware of this, you cannot stack these chips, all right? Once you have 15% or use 3 of these chips, that is it, all right? You can't just keep going up. Let's say you want to buy 100 of these and have 500%, all right? It does not work that way, which I think is fantastic. It keeps people from being pay to win within this game, and I love that about this game, all right? How you will buy these chips, though, is you have to purchase AUR. And you do that by clicking up here where you have the little red square AUR symbol. Click on that. It will allow you to buy for real money, so like whatever your currency is, bundles of AUR. Okay, so you have like 25 at $1, 125 at $5, and so on and so forth as you go up. Right now, AUR is primarily used to buy the cognitive chips here and Plex. All right, that's about it for right now. I expect developers to push out new updates that will provide more items where you can purchase using that type of currency. And then you use Plex. If you exchange your AUR for Plex, you can use that to buy different skins for your ships, which is pretty cool. And that's just for customization if you want to go in that direction, all right? The only way I could see people paying to win in this aspect right now is if they buy a whole lot of AUR and purchasing these cognitive chips, because you can sell them on the in-game marketplace to other pilots, thus generating ISK for yourself. And I'll get to that here in just a moment because that's pretty much all I have to explain here in this one. The two ways that you can do it is you can purchase with ISK to get Plex, or you can exchange AUR for Plex. And you can sell Plex to get ISK, it looks like. That's cool. So there you go. That's what you can do. You can buy a whole lot of AUR and convert AUR to Plex and the Plex to ISK if you want. Or you can buy the cognitive chips and just sell them on the marketplace. All right. Now, to get ISK, there's 4 different ways that I have found to generate ISK. The first is going to be manufacturing or mining manufacturing goods like weapons, ships, other enhancements for other pilots to purchase on the in-game marketplace. Or you can mine planets and asteroid belt for materials that you can sell in the in-game marketplace. That's the one way that you can generate ISK. The second one is going to be doing deliveries within the game. So if you click on your character, there's this delivery option you have here. Now, for those of you who are familiar with the game, there's this thing called interstellar delivery, where if you purchase an item within the in-game marketplace and you don't want to travel to pick it up, you can have it interstellar delivered to where you're at or a nearby station, depending if you're in a station that it delivers to or not. But that's something that you can do. And then this is how other pilots can go in and make those deliveries for other pilots and make some ISK that way. So we have manufacturing and mining and selling that on the marketplace. We have delivery. The third one that I want to talk about is going to be encounters. Okay, these encounters, which if you click, let me back out real quick. Click on your character and click on encounters down here in the social, are basically missions that you can complete for ISK. All right, so when you click on encounters and you go to news, these are all the different missions that I am able to do right now. Okay, and it gives me the price of what my reward will be. So if I decided to do this purging the Gurastas pirates, it will be 95,000 ISK when I complete that mission, which is a huge-ish chunk of change, which is pretty nice. Or if you don't want to go out and fight, there's other ones where you can. Let me see if I can find one. There's an epidemic one, which basically you go to one station, pick up some supplies, and then go to another station and deliver that. And so that's another thing that you can do. Or the most popular one that I've seen is down here at the bottom right for the Pyrorexers. I don't know. The pyro is what I'm going to call it. Is a type of ore that you can mine or buy from the in-game marketplace and deliver it to some station. So in this case, this one's going to take me 40 jumps to get to there if I had that ore with me and deliver it. And right there, beam, bada boom, I got 250,000 ISK, which is a bigger change. All right. So that's the third way you can generate ISK, is by completing these different missions. And then the last one, the fourth one that I want to talk about is the cosmic anomalies. Okay, some of y'all may already be familiar with the cosmic anomalies. So when you go into an encounter here, some of these, as I mentioned earlier, so like purging the pirates, you've warped to a different system that has a cosmic anomaly that you warp to, and you destroy the ships there and you complete the mission. Well, let's say you don't want to do an encounter that way. Well, you can just undock from your station, as I'll demonstrate here. Sometime, maybe. All right. So I undocked from the station. If you click on that little eye over here, it will bring up your basically everything that's within this system. All right. If you click here and go to Cosmic Anomaly, you can see that I have one Cosmic Anomaly near me, which is a about 2.45 AUs away. So I can warp over there real quick. I'll just show you.
Warp drive active.
And as you can see, there's 3 enemy ships near me. Okay, these guys right here. So once my ship finishes warping over here, I can target them, focus fire, and let's go ahead and engage this one. Okay, and my weapons do well at about 12 kilometers away. Oh, that was quick. Okay, there you go. You can see that I already generated some ISK there, right there. So 1,500 ISK. Okay, and then I'm going to destroy this last ship, which is apparently pretty easy. So I was able to generate ISK that way, and you can keep fighting these ships as long as you want to stay out undocked and generating ISK that way. Another thing that you can do is you have loot in the area. So when you destroy these ships, there's loot. So I can come over here. I'm going to approach this loot, hopefully before the other player does. That's in here. That's this person right here. There's another player shooting down these ships with me. But I'm going to fly over to this loot. Hopefully I'll get it before he does. All right. Let's go ahead and loot it. And you can get items. So I get a small weapon that I can use later on. Okay, I'm going to go work next to a station. Go back in that direction. So that's the 4th way you can generate ISK within this game, which is pretty cool. So you got a choice. What do you want to do? Do you want to fight and generate ISK, or do you want to manufacture goods for other pilots to purchase from you? Whatever you want to do. It's still pretty cool. Now you may be wondering to yourself, it's like, well, hey, look, I have I'll just say round it up, 1.1 million ISK. What am I supposed to do with that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Within this game, you have an in-game market, okay? So if you click your character, come over here. Let me actually dock real quick so I'm not just floating in space. All right, click on your character, go to the market icon here, and this is where you can spend your ISK. All right, as soon as this pops up, there you go. So you have a couple available items that you can choose from, or categories. So you have pilot service, which is going to be those skill chips that I told you about. See, people are already selling them for 41 million. That's insane. Wow. Good luck on that one. But you can sell those cognitive chips that I told you about, and you can generate ISK that way. The most popular, of course, is going to be the neuroscience level 5, the greenish blue. What's the other color? I'm going to say green chip, then which is going to be the cheapest for you to buy within the in-game store, not the in-game marketplace. So the in-game store with AUR, and then sell it here. Or you can exchange your ISK for Plek, which is the other type of currency. All right. You can also come in here and purchase multiple things. You can buy ships. So let's say if you want a new cruiser, you could come in here, see how much it costs, which I found, I don't know if it's a bug or not. I think this is the ideal market value here, but sometimes, so like if I click on this and go here, you can see that it's more expensive than what was actually labeled. So it could be a little bit misleading when you're actually looking at things to purchase. Make sure that you click on the item, let it come up, and you can see the different prices as it varies from system to system or from location. All right. So you could come here, you can buy high slot weapons, mid slot, low slot, which I will kind of go into in another beginning tutorial about the different fittings that you can put on your ship. And then there's those combat rigs, which actually increase the performance of the weapons or fittings that you have on your current ship. All right. And then down here, like I said, you can sell materials such as ore or raw ores or different reprocessed material. This is where you can sell it here. So let's say like raw ore. You could come here, and down here is those pyro ore that I was telling you about. And you could come in here, instead of mining it, you could just buy it. And certain systems are cheaper right now. I think the highest is 130 ISK for that. Usually those missions you need 500, so just price it out to how much you want to spend for it. But that's a great way to make ISK, all right? So yeah, I think that just about does it. So just to recap, the 4 ways that you can generate ISK is manufacturing and mining of ores and selling that stuff on the marketplace. You can actually to just add to that, if you go around looting different ships that have blown up, or taking, let's say you go to a 0 or a null sector 2.4, I believe what it is, and destroy players, you can loot their inventory within their ships and sell that on the marketplace as well. So that's kind of like the first way to generate ISK. The second way is going to be doing those deliveries that I showed you about for other pilots, delivering their goods to other stations for other pilots to receive them. The third is going to be the encounters or the missions that you can accomplish. And the last is going to be those cosmic anomalies that you can warp over to and destroy other ships. So those are the 4 main ways you can go about generating ISK within this game. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more about how to generate ISK. If you have any questions at all, please let me know in the comments section below. I will be more than happy to answer them for you. And always go ahead and give me a like or a subscribe if you want to get up-to-date content about EVE Echoes. Thanks for watching and have fun flying.